My Betty be hearty soon?
Out of here!
My Betty not go and die.
Out of my sight! Out of my... Oh my God. God, help me. Betty, little one, will you wake? Will you open your eyes? Betty, little one.
Uncle, Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Griggs.
Oh, the doctor? Let her come. Let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
Dr. Griggs, he bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Aye, sir, he have been searching his books since he left you, sir. But he bid me tell you that you might look to unnatural things for the cause of it.
No, there be no unnatural causes here. Tell him I have sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly, and Mr. Hale will surely confirm that. Let him look to the medicine and put all thought of the natural causes here. There be none.
Aye, sir, he bid me tell you.
Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir, I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you best go down and deny it yourself. The parlor's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest?
Oh, Uncle, we did dance. You tell them I confessed it. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know that you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle, and when you leaped out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened, and then she fainted, and there's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look, you child, I have no desire to punish you. That will come in its time. But if you traffic with spirits in the forest, I must know, for surely my enemies will, and they'll ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why can't she move herself since midnight? This child is desperate. It must come out. Let me know what you have done there. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I know it, Uncle.
There's a faction that has sworn to drive me out of my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now, in the midst of all this disruption, my own household is to be discovered the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
It were only sport, Uncle.
I saw Tishaba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I heard a screaming and gibberish coming from her mouth.
She always sings her Barbados songs, and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress lying in the grass.
A dress?
Aye, a dress. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
Oh, no one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it! Now tell me true, Abigail. Now my ministry's at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you have done, give me all of it now, for I dare not to be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I have fought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, when there should be some good respect for me in this parish, you compromise my very character. I've given you a home, child. I've put clothes upon your back. Now give me an upright answer. Your name in this town. It is entirely white, is it not?
Well, I'm sure it is. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there any other reason for Goody Proctor discharging you? It has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their house, and no other family has called for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them.
No, I will not have anyone. Why, Goody Putnam, come in.
There's surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam, it is.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, it's sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn and come down light as bird, he says.
Now look you, Goody Ann, she never. Good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's...
Why, her eyes is closed. Look you, Anne.
That's strange. Ours is open.
Your little Ruth is sick too?
I not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death. You know, it's death driving into them forked and hoofed.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does your child ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open, and she walks, and hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken surely.
They say you sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly.
A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic arts, and
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now look, you Goody Ann, he only thought he found a witch, and I am certain there be no element of witchcraft here.
No witchcraft. Now look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft. I know you least of all, would ever wish such a disastrous charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such corruption in my household.
Now look you, Mr. Paris. I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands upon these children.
But Thomas, you cannot.
And tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. Believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born. And yet, each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoke nothing, but my heart clamors intimations. And now, this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels like a sucking mouth were put on her life too. So I thought to send her to your Tituba.
To Tituba? What may Tituba?
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Ann, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul. But who else may surely tell us what person murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris. And mark this proof. Mark it! Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to the little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There's a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits last night.
Not I, sir, not I. Tituba and Ruth.
Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house, Thomas? In my house? They will topple me for this. They will make of it a...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
There's a sign of life.
I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like it will shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Thomas, will you leave me now? I would like to pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why'd you not go down?
No. I will wait till Mr. Hale arrives.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil here, and the people will bless you for it. Come down. Speak with them. Pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I have no stomach for disputation this morning. I will lead them in psalm, but let none of you speak of witchcraft. The cause is yet unknown. I will not discuss it. I have had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth. Do you hear?
Aye, Mom.
If she tries through the window, cry for me at once.
Yes, Uncle.
There is a terrible power in arms today.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty. Oh, now stop this, Betty. Sit up now.
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and waked her for a minute. Here, let me have
No,
her.
he'll be coming up. Now look you, if they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told them as much already.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Jesus!
What do we do? The whole village is out.
What do we do?
I just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby.
They'll be calling us witches, Abby. She means to tell. I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing. And the other things.
Oh, We'll be whipped.
I never done none of it, Abby. I only looked.
Oh, you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren?
Betty? Now, Betty, dear, wake up now. It's Abigail. Oh, I'll beat you, Betty. Oh, my, you seem improving. I talked to your papa, and I told him everything, so there's nothing
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mama's dead and buried.
I'll fly to mama. Let me fly.
I told him everything. He knows now. He knows everything.
Blood. You drink blood, Abby.
Betty, you will never say that again. You will
You
never.
did. You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor.
Shut it now. Shut it.
Mama.
Now look, you, all of you. We danced, and Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters, and that is all. And mark this. Let either of you breathe a word or the edge of a word about the other things, and I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine. And I have seen some reddish work done at night, and I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Oh, now you sit up and stop this.
What's got her, Abby? She's going to die. It's a sin to conjure.
I say shut it, Mary Warren!
Oh, I'm just going home, Mr. Proctor.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why shall I pay you? I am looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd best be off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
She's only gone silly somehow. She'll come out of it.
So she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
Oh, John. Sure you're not believing she flies.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped in on us. She took fright is all.
Dancing by moonlight. You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby, I've not come for that.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly? I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John, I'm waiting for you every night.
Abby, you'll put it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and then sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. I saw your face when she put me out, and you loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing! They say wild things! I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I've hardly stepped off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
Perhaps I have.
I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake and walk about the house as though I'd find you coming through some door.
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I'll ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind. We never touched Abby.
Aye, but we did.
Aye, but we did not.
Oh, how I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife be.
You'll speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is spreading lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. Let her turn you.
Do you look for a whipping?
I look for the John Proctor that put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by these Christian women and their covenanted men, and now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not, I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me. Betty? Betty?
What happened? What are you doing to her? Betty!
She heard you
Betty.
singing, and suddenly she's up and screaming.
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
No, God
Mark it for
forbid!
a sign. Mark it.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot, a prodigious sign.
My mother told me that when they cannot bear to hear the name of.
Rebecca, come to us. We are lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
There's hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please to keep the quiet.
I haven't said a word. No one here can testify that I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I heard she flies.
Man, be quiet now.
What have you done?
Pray, calm yourselves. I've had 11 children, and I'm 26 times a grandma, and I have seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it come on them, they will run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You cannot catch it by running after it. You must stand still, and for love itself, it will come back.
Aye, that's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered, Rebecca. She cannot eat.
Perhaps she is not hungered yet. Mr. Paris, I hope you're not decided to go in search of loose spirits. I've heard promise of that outside.
There's a wide opinion running in the parish that the devil may be among us, and I would satisfy them that they were wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Are you our minister, Mr. Hale? Did you consult the wardens of the church before you called this minister to look for devils?
He's not coming to look for devils.
Then what's he coming for?
There'll be children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think you'd best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. This will set us all back to arguing again in the society. We thought to have peace this year. Let us rely on Dr. Grace now and good prayer.
Rebecca, the doctor's baffled.
If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is a prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons, the Putnam seat of peopled this province. And yet I have but one child left of 8, and now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that.
You think it's God's work you should never lose a child, nor a grandchild either, and I bury all but one.
When Mr. Hale arrives, you will proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command, Mr. Paris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage.
I've never heard you so worried on the society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I have seen you at Sabbath meeting once since snow flew.
I have trouble enough without I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. There are many others who stay away from church these days because he hardly ever mentioned God anymore.
Why, that's a drastic charge.
It is somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for the children, Rebecca. The children are not the ones who are unmindful of their obligations toward this ministry. Where's my firewood? My contract provides that I be supplied with my firewood. I am waiting since November for a stick, and even in November, I had to show my frostbitten hands like some London beggar.
You were allowed £6 a year to buy your wood, Mr. Paris.
I am paid little enough without I spend £6 on firewood. The salary is £60, Mr. Proctor. I'm not some preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
Aye, and well instructed in mathematics.
Mr. Corey, you will look far for a man of my kind at £60 a year. I am not used to this poverty. I left a thrifty business in the Barbados to serve the Lord. I do not fathom it. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer up one proposition without a howling right of argument. I wonder if the devil may be in it somewhere. I can't understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you are the first minister ever did demand the deed to this house.
I am your third preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like some cat whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem not to comprehend that the minister is the Lord's man and is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted.
Aye.
There is either obedience or the church is burning like hell is burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without we land in hell again? I'm sick of hell.
It is not for you to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What? Are we Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you may tell that to your followers.
My followers.
There's a party in this church. I'm not blind. There's a faction and a party.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Why then I must find it and join it.
He does not mean that.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority. I have a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find that party. He says there's a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had such iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It's just a mind will trouble be among us all these years. Think on it. Wherefore is everyone suing everybody else? I've been to court 6 times this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did.
John Proctor, I've only last month collected £4 damages for you publicly saying I burned the roof off your house.
I never said no such thing, but I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Now come along, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home.
I'll be damned first.
A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging home, if I may ask you?
My lumber, from out my forest by the riverside.
Why, we have surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds, Mr. Proctor. My bounds.
In your bounds. I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that all land between
Your
the
grandfather had a habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
That's God's truth. He nearly willed away my north pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he'd set his name to it. I feel sudden will to work coming on. Let's get your lumber home, John.
You load one oak of mine, and you'll fight to drag it home.
I will win too, Putnam. This fool and I. Come on.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clap a writ on you.
Pray you, someone take these.
Mr. Hale, oh, it's good to see you again. My, they're heavy.
They must be. They are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It's strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We have all heard of your great charities in Beverly.
Do you know this gentleman? Mr. Thomas Putnam and his good wife Anne.
Putnam, I had not expected such distinguished company, sir.
Does not seem to help us today, Mr. Hale. We look to you to come to our house and save our child.
Your child ails too.
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps and yet she walks.
She cannot eat.
Cannot eat? Do you men also have afflicted children?
No. These are farmers. John Proctor.
He don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles?
No, John. I have a few queer questions on my own to ask this fellow.
I've heard you be a sensible man, Mr. Hal. I hope you'll leave some of it in Salem.
Will you look at my daughter, sir? She has tried to leap from the window, and we discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly?
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That's a sure sign of witchcraft afloat.
No. Now let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and we must look only for his proper signs and judge nothing beforehand. And I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me should I find no trace of hell in this.
It is agreed, sir. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good, then. Now, sir, what were your first warning of this strangeness?
Why, sir? I discovered her and my niece and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, it were secret.
Mr. Paris's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
We cannot be sure of that, Goody Anne.
I know it, sir. I sent my child. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sister.
Goody Anne, you sent a child to conjure up the dead?
Let God blame me, not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me anymore. Mr. Hale, is it a natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
7 dead in childbirth.
Aye.
What book is that?
What's there, sir?
Here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books, the devil stands stripped of all his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi and succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Have no fear, we shall find him out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I am too old for this.
Why, Rebecca? We may open up the boils to all of your troubles today.
Let us hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come, Mr. Hale, let's get on. Sit you here.
Mr. Hale, I always want to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell, she hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. I've woken at night many times and find her in the corner reading of a book. Now what do you make of that?
Why, that's not necessarily.
It discomforts me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayer. And she closed her book and get out of the house, and mark this, I could pray again.
Ah, the stoppage of prayer. That is strange. I'd like to speak further on that with you.
I'm not saying she's such a devil now, but I'd like to know what books she reads and why she hides them. She won't answer me, you see.
I will discuss it. Now mark me, if the devil is in her, you shall witness some frightful wonders in this room, so please to keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty, dear, can you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, minister of Beverly. I've come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls from Beverly?
How can it be the devil? Why would he choose my house to strike?
What victory would the devil have to take a soul already had? It is the best the devil wants, and who is better than the minister?
That's deep, Mr. Paris, deep.
Does someone afflict you, child? And need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird invisible to others. Perhaps a pig, or any beast at all. Does some figure bid you fly? In nomine Domini Sabaoth, sui filice, ite ad infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all, sir.
I thought I ought to say that I saw a kettle lying in the grass where they were dancing.
That's for only soup.
Soup? What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think.
Mr.
and-
Paris, you did not happen to notice any living thing inside that kettle? A mouse, perhaps? A spider? A frog?
That frog jumped in. We never put it in.
Hey, frog, Abby!
We never put it in.
Abigail, maybe your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last
I
night?
never called him. Tituba called him.
I should like to speak to Tituba.
Goody Ann, will you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A tremor below the ground?
I didn't see no devil. Betty, wake up. Betty, Betty!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink it?
She tried, but I refused.
Concealing? Have you sold your soul to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I did drink of the kettle. She made me do it. She made Betty do it.
Abby!
She makes me drink blood.
Blood?
My baby's blood?
No, chicken blood. I give you chicken blood.
Woman, are you enlisting these children for the devil?
No, sir, I don't truck with the devil.
Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
They love me, Betty.
You are sending your spirit out upon these children, are you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sent her spirit out on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
She has often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
You beg me to conjure Abby. She begged me make charm.
I'll tell you something. She comes to me while I sleep. She's always making me dream corruptions.
Abby.
Sometimes I wake and find myself standing in an open doorway and not a stitch on my body. I always hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados song.
Tituba, I want you to wake this child.
I have no power on this child, sir.
You most certainly do, and you will lose her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't come back with no devil.
You will confess yourself, or I'll take you out and whip you to your death, Tituba!
This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged.
No. Don't hang Tituba. I tell him I don't desire to work for him, sir.
Who, the devil? Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break free with it entirely. Now, we're going to help you tear yourself free. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba?
I a good Christian woman.
And you love these little children.
Oh, yes, sir. I don't desire to hurt little children.
And you love God, Tituba.
I love God with all my being.
Now in God's holy name,
Bless him, bless him.
and to his glory,
Eternal glory, bless him, bless God.
open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you.
Oh, bless the Lord.
When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Perhaps someone from the village, someone you know.
Who came with him?
Did you, Sir Good? Did you ever see Sir Good with the devil? Or Osborne?
Was it a man or a woman?
Was woman.
A woman, you said? What woman?
It was black, dark, and I.
You could see him. Why couldn't you see her?
Well, they was always talking. They was always running around and carrying on.
You mean out of Salem? Salem witches?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Tituba, you must have no fear to tell us who they are. We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a minister. You know that, do you not, Tituba?
Aye, sir. I do.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side, and we will bless you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hale.
You are God's instrument put into our hands to help us discover the devil's agents among us. You are selected, Tituba, to help us cleanse our village. So speak utterly, Tituba. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God, Tituba, and God will protect you.
Oh, God protected you.
Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who? Their names.
Oh, how many times he bid me kill you, Mr. Paris.
Kill me?
He say, Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris, no goodly man. Mr. Paris, mean man, and no gentleman. And he bid me rise out of my bed and cut your throat. But I tell him no. I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But he said, you work for me, Tituba. I can make you free. I can give you pretty dress to wear and put you way up high in the air and you go fly back to Barbados. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then he come one stormy night to me and he say, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look. There was Goody Good.
Sarah Good?
I saw Goody Osborne.
I knew it. Goody Osborne would midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged him not to call Osborne because I feared her. My baby's always shriveled in her hands.
Take courage, you must give us all their names. How can you bear to see these children suffering? Look at them, Tituba. Look at their God-given innocence. Their souls are so tender, we must protect them, Tituba. The devil is out and preying upon them like a beast upon the flesh of a pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Howe with the devil.
She speaks. She speaks.
Glory to God, it is broken. They are free.
I saw Martha Bellows with the devil.
I saw Goody Simmer with the devil.
The marshal. I'll call the marshal.
Let the marshal bring irons.
I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil.
I saw Goody Pike with the devil.
I saw Mr. Barton with the devil.
I saw Goody Cobb with the devil.
I saw Goody Franklin with the devil.
I saw Goody Hopper with the devil.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
I were planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then?
Aye, the farm is seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye,
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No, she walked into the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she'd come to visit.
Oh, that's a good sign walking in.
Pray God, it hurt my heart to strip her. Poor rabbit.
Oh, it is well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender?
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon. It's warm as blood beneath the clods.
That's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye.
This farm's a constant when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
On Sunday, let you come with me and we'll walk the farm together. I never see such a load of flowers on the earth. Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You'd come so late, I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault. It is a fault, Elizabeth. You're the mistress here, not Mary
She
Warren.
frightened all my strength away.
How made that mouse frighten you,
It
Elizabeth?
is no mouse no more. I forbid her go, and she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I'm an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye, it's a proper court they have now. They've sent 4 judges out of Boston, she says, weighty magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I would to God she were. There be 14 people in the jail already, she says. And they'll be tried. And the court have power to hang them too, she says.
They'd never hang.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. This town's gone wild, I think. Mary Warren, she speaks of Abigail as though she were a saint to hear her. She brings the other girls into court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel, and folks are brought before them. And if Abigail scream and howl and fall to the floor, the person's slapped in jail for bewitching her.
Oh, it is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it is a fraud.
Aye, it is. It is surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever, he knows you well, and tell him what she said to you last week at her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did. She did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. They must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now. John, let you go tonight.
I will think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl is a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud and the town gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her.
For a moment alone,
Why, then it is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have no.
I'll not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to her, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look you.
I see what I see.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvements before you go to judge your husband anymore. I have forgot Abigail, and
I.
Spare me! You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months since she is gone. I have not moved from there to there without, I think, to please you, and still an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I have doubted every moment judged for lies, as though I come into court when I come into this house.
John, you are not open with me. You saw her with a crowd, you said, and now
I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I'm only...
No more! I should have roared you down when you first told me your suspicion, but I wilted, and like a Christian, I confessed. Some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day, but you're not. You're not. Let you remember it. Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate that sits in your heart judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I'm sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I'm in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what are these proceedings here? When we proceed to keep this house as you were paid £9 a year to do, and my wife not wholly well.
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair and pass the time with sewing.
Why, thank you. It's a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. They'll be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her. He must. But not Sarah Good. For Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confessed? To what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down, and we must all worship hell forevermore.
But surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in an open court, she nearly choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Mary, surely...
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Why, I've never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come to the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleep in ditches and so very old and poor. But then she sit there denying, and I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back, and the skin on my skull begin to creep, and I feel a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice. And all at once I remembered everything she'd done to me.
Why? What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she come to this very door, begging bread and a cup of cider, and mark this, whenever I turned her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumble? She may mumble hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor, last month, a Monday, I think, she walked away and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I do, I think, but...
And so I told that to Judge Hawthorne, and he asked her so, Goody Good, says he, what curse do you mumble that this girl must fall sick after turning you away? And then she replies, why, your excellence, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Hawthorne say, recite for us your commandments. And of all the 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
But the proof.
I told you the proof. It's hard proof, hard as rock, the judges said.
You will not go to that court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I will be gone every day now. I'm amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But Mr. Proctor, they will not hang them if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail sometime. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her, and she's full to the brim, and smoking a pipe all these years, and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they'll not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel? You must see it, sir. It's God's work we do. So I'll be gone every day for some time. I'm an official of the court, they say.
I'll official you!
I'll not stand whipping anymore. The devil's loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor. We must discover where he's hiding.
I'll whip the devil out of you!
I saved her life today.
I am accused.
You are somewhat mentioned, but I said I never see no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law. I cannot tell it. I hope you'll not be so sarcastical no more. 4 judges and the king's deputy sat to dinner with us but an hour ago. I would have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night.
Oh, the noose. The noose is up.
There'll be no
She
noose.
wants me dead. I knew all week it would come to this.
They dismissed it. You heard her
And
say.
what of tomorrow? Oh, she will cry me out until they take me.
Sit you down.
She wants me dead. John, you know it.
I say sit down. Now, we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Indeed. Indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said it raw sport.
John, with so many in the jail, more than that is needed now, I think. Would you favor me with this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There is a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now. Oh, I'm sure she does. And thinks to kill me, then to take my place. It is her dearest hope, John, I know it. There be 1,000 names. Why does she call mine? There be certain danger in calling such a name. I am no goody-good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne drunk and half-witted. She dare not call out such a farmer's wife, but there be monstrous profit. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
I think she sees a different meaning in that blush.
And what see you? What see you, Elizabeth?
I think you be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I sown, I would have cracked for shame this 7 months.
Then go and tell her she's a whore. Whatever promise she may sense, break it. John, break it.
Good then, I'll go.
How unwillingly.
I will curse her harder than the oldest cinder in hell. Fear not. But pray, begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only ask you.
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? The promise that a stallion gives a mare, I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger with me when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit and I am honest. But I'll plead no more. I see now your spirit twists around the single error of my life, and I will never tear it free.
You'll tear it free when you come to know that I will be your only wife or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Good evening.
Why, Mr. Hale, good evening to you, sir. Come in, come in.
Hope I do not startle you.
No, it's only that I heard no horse.
Your good wife Proctor.
Aye, Elizabeth.
Hope you're not off to bed yet.
No. Let you come in, Mr. Hale. We are not used to visitors after dark, but you're welcome here. Will you sit you down, sir?
I will. Let you sit, good wife Proctor.
Will you drink cider, Mr. Hale?
No, it rebels my stomach. I have some further traveling yet tonight. Let you sit, sir. I will not keep you long, but I do have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No, I come of my own. Now hear me. I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us. We are entirely amazed.
I am a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of those that come accused before the court. And so this afternoon and now tonight I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house.
Rebecca's charge.
God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhat.
You will never believe, I hope, that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so.
Mister, one can no longer deny the powers of the dark that are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to doubt it. You will agree, sir.
I have no knowledge in that line. But it's hard to think so pious a woman be secretly a devil's bitch after 70 years of such good prayer.
Aye. But the devil is a wily one, you cannot deny it. However, she is far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put some questions as to the Christian character of this house, if you'll permit me.
Why, we have no fear of questions, sir.
Good, then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that the two of you are rarely in church on Sunday.
No, sir, you're mistaken.
Only 17 times in 26 months, sir. I must call that rare.
Mr. Hale.
Will you tell me why you are so absent?
I never knew I must account to that man before I come to church or stay at home. My wife was sick this winter.
So I am told. But you, sir, why could you not come alone?
I surely did come when I could, and when I could not, I prayed in this house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, sir. It does. And it tells me that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Since we built the church, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you know, and a sweeter hand never touched the metal. But Paris came, and for 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I labored the earth from dawn of day to blink of night, and I tell you true. When I look to heaven and see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir. It hurt my prayer. Sometimes I think the man dreams cathedrals, not clapboard meeting houses.
And yet, Mr. A Christian on Sabbath day must be in church. Now tell me, you have 3 children.
Aye, boys.
How come it only 2 are baptized?
I like it not that Mr. Parrish lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man. I'll not conceal it.
I must say it, sir, that is not for you to decide. The man's ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, I have
I nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door.
Oh, did you? That's a good sign, then.
It may be I have been too quick to bring the man to book, but you cannot think we ever desire the destruction of religion. I think that's in your mind, is it not?
There's a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think maybe we have been too hard on Mr. Paris. I think so, but be sure we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, sir?
I am sure I do, sir.
Let you repeat them, if you will.
The commandments?
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
You have said that twice, sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir, between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it'd be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house!
I pray it. I pray it dearly. Now then, I'll bid you good night.
Mr. Hale, I do think you are suspecting me somewhat. Are you not?
Goody Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no witness and cannot prove it, except my word be taken. But I know the children's sickness had not to do with witchcraft.
Not to do?
They were discovered by Mr. Paris sporting in the woods. They were startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail.
Aye.
Abigail Williams said it had not to do with witchcraft.
She told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I never knew until tonight that the world has gone daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense. Sir, I have myself examined Sarah Good, Tituba, and numerous others that have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not if they must hang for denying it? There are them that will confess to anything before they'll hang. Have you never thought of that?
I have indeed. And you, sir, would you testify to this in court?
I had not reckoned with going into court. But if I must, I will.
Oh, you falter there. I
falter nothing, but I may wonder if my story will be credited in such a court. I do wonder on it when a minister as steady-minded as you will suspicion such a woman that never lied. She cannot lie, and the world knows she cannot. I may falter somewhat, mister. I'm no fool.
Proctor, let you open with me now, for I have heard a thing that troubles me. It is said you hold no belief that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true, sir?
I know not what I have said. I may have said it. I do wonder if there be witches in the world.
Then you do not believe.
I have no knowledge of it. The Bible speaks of witches, and I will not deny them.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot!
Elizabeth, you bewilder him.
I cannot think that the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hale, when she keeps an upright way as I have. I am a good woman, and for you to believe that I may do only good work in the world and yet be secretly bound to Satan? Then I must tell you, sir, I do not believe it.
But woman, you surely do believe there are
You
witches.
think that I am one, that I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the gospel. The gospel.
She believe in the gospel, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel and not myself.
She do not mean to doubt the gospel, sir. You cannot think it. This be a Christian house, sir, a Christian house.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized and go you without fail each Sunday into Sabbath prayer. And keep a solemn, quiet way about you. I think that if you...
John,
Giles, what's the matter?
they take my wife and Rebecca nurse.
Rebecca's in the jail?
John, Cheever, come and take her in his wagon. We've only just come from the jail and they'll not even let us in to see them.
They've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Reverend Hale, can you not speak to the deputy governor? I'm sure he mistakes these people.
Pray, calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of the church, Mr. Hale. And Martha Corey. There cannot be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How was Rebecca charged, Mr. Nurse?
For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Believe me, sir, if Rebecca be tainted, then there's nothing left to stop the whole green world from burning. Let you rest upon the justice of the court. The court will send her home, I know it.
You cannot mean she will be tried in court.
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, remember, until an hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she were reading books.
Mr. Corey, exactly what complaint were made on your wife?
It was that bloody Mongol Walcott. You see, he bought a pig of my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and the pig died soon after, so they come dancing in for his money back. And my wife, she say to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wit to feed a pig properly, you won't live to own many, she says. And now he come into court and claims that from that day to this, he can't keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched them with her books.
Good evening. Good evening to you, John Proctor.
Why, Mr. Cheever, good evening.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Hale.
I hope you come not on business of the court.
I do, Proctor, I. I'm the clerk of the court now, you know.
It's a pity, Ezekiel. That honest Taylor may have gone to heaven, must now burn in hell. You'll burn for this, do you know it?
You know yourself I must do as I am told. You surely know that, Giles. And I'd as lief you not be sending me to hell. I like not the sound of it. I tell you, I like not the sound of it. Now, believe me, Proctor, how heavy be the law. Well, it's tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
What say you? A warrant for my wife? You said you were not charged!
I know nothing of it. When was she charged? charged?
I am given 16 warrant tonight, sir, and she is one.
Who charged her?
Or Abigail Williams charged her.
Abigail Williams? On what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bid me search your house, but I like not search a house. So would you hand me any poppets your wife may keep here?
Poppets?
I never kept no poppets, not since I were a girl.
I spy a poppet, Goody Proctor.
Why, this is Mary's.
Would you please to give it to me?
Has the court discovered a text in poppets now?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No, nor this one either till tonight. What signifies a poppet?
Why, a poppet may signify. Now, woman, would you please to come with me?
She will not. Fetch Mary here.
No, I am forbid to leave her from my sight.
You will leave her out of sight and out of mind. Fetch Mary, Elizabeth.
What signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever?
Why, they say it may signify that she... Why, this...
What is it?
Why, it is a needle. Willard, it is a needle.
And what signifies a needle?
Why, this go hard with her, Proctor. I had my doubts, Proctor. I had my doubts, but here's calamity. You see it, sir. It is a needle.
Why? What meaning has it?
Why, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner at Reverend Parris's house tonight, and without word nor warning, she falls to the floor, like a struck beast, he says, and screamed a scream a bull would weep to hear. And he goes to save her, and stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly, he draw a needle out, and demanded of her how she came to be so stabbed. She testified where your wife's familiar spirit pushed it in.
Why, she done it herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof, Mr. Hale.
'Tis hard proof. I find here a poppet Goody Proctor keeps, and in the belly of the poppet a needle stuck. I tell you true, Proctor, I have never warranted to see such proof of hell, and I bid you obstruct me
Here,
not.
now! Mary, how did this poppet come into my house?
What poppet's that, sir?
This poppet.
Why, I think it is mine, sir.
It is your poppet, is it not?
It is, sir.
And how did it come into my house?
Why, I made it in the court, sir, and give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Warren, a needle were found stuck into this poppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
You stuck that needle in yourself?
I believe I did, sir.
What say you now?
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory. May it be that even now someone conjures you to say this?
Conjures me? Why, no, sir. I'm entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Bid him be gone, mister. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out, mister.
What signifies a needle?
Mary Warren, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charged no...
Abigail were found stabbed tonight. A needle were stuck into her belly.
And she charges me.
Aye.
Why, that girl is murder. She must be ripped out of this world.
You have heard that, sir. Ripped out of the world. Willard, you have heard it.
Out with you.
Proctor, you dare not touch the warrant.
Out with you!
You have ripped the deputy governor's warrant, man!
Damn the deputy governor out of my house!
Now, Proctor!
Then you guard with them. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she's innocent, the court will...
She is innocent. Why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem. But now the little crazy children are jangling the keys of the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. This warrants vengeance. I will not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go.
John, I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me, John. I cannot budge.
You will see her taken.
Proctor, the court is just...
Pontius Pilate! God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I think I must go with them. Mary, there's bread enough in the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as you were his daughter. You owe me that and much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
I will bring you home. I will bring you soon.
Oh, John, bring me soon.
I will fall like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
I will fear nothing. Tell the children I have gone to visit someone sick.
Willard, don't chain her! Damn you, man, you'll not chain her! Off with them! I'll not have it! I'll not have her chained!
And yet, silent minister, it is fraud. You know it is fraud. What keeps you, man?
I'll pay you, Willard. I'll surely pay you.
In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. That you keep inside this house till I am gone. Man, are you blind?
Mr. Proctor.
Out of my sight.
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard tonight will not hesitate to testify to the court. God help me, I cannot judge them guilty nor innocent, I know not. But the world goes mad, and it profit nothing you should lay the cause of it to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think God be so grandly provoked by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hangings promised. Man, we must look to cause proportionate. Were the murder done, perhaps, and never brought to light? Abomination? Some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven? Think on cause, man, and let you help me to discover it. For there's your way. Believe me, there's your only way when such confusion walks the earth. Let you counsel among yourselves. Think on your village and what may have drawn from heaven such thunderous wrath upon you all. I shall pray God open up our eyes.
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
Leave me, Francis. Leave me.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it. We'll come early, eh?
Aye. Go now, Giles.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they're given proper evidence.
You're coming to the court with me, Mary. You will tell it to the court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell the court how that puppet came here and who stuck the needle in.
She'll kill me for saying that. Abigail charge lesser on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you.
I have known it, sir. She'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. We will slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
I cannot. They'll turn on me.
My wife will never die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
I cannot do it. I cannot.
Make your peace with it. Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs, and all our old pretenses ripped away. Make your peace.
I cannot.
Peace.
I cannot. I cannot.
It is a providence
I cannot.
and no great change. We are what we always were, but naked now.
I cannot.
Aye,
cannot.
naked.
I cannot.
And the wind, God's
I
icy
cannot.
wind, will blow.
I cannot.
I must speak with you, Abigail. Will you sit?
How do you come?
Friendly.
I do not like the woods at night. Pray you stand closer. I knew it must be you. When I heard the pebbles on my window before I opened my eyes, I knew. I thought you'd come a good time sooner.
I had thought to come many times.
Why didn't you? I'm so alone in the world now.
Are you? I've heard that people ride 100 miles to see your face these days.
Aye, my face. Can you see my face?
Then you're troubled.
Have you come to mock me?
No. But I hear only that you go to the tavern every night and play shovelboard with the deputy governor. And they give you cider.
I have once or twice played the shovelboard, but I have no joy in it.
It's a surprise, Abby. I thought to find you gayer than this. I'm told a troop of boys go step for step with you wherever you walk these days.
Aye, they do. But I only have lewd looks from the boys.
And you like that not?
I cannot bear lewd looks no more, John. My spirit's changed entirely. I ought to be given godly looks when I suffer for them as I do.
Oh? How do you suffer, Abby?
Why, look at my leg. I'm holes all over from their damned needles and pins. The jab your wife gave me not healed yet, you know.
Oh, it isn't.
I think sometimes she pricks it open again while I sleep.
Ah.
And George Jacobs, he comes again and again and raps me with his stick, the same spot every night this week. Look at the lump I have.
Abby, George Jacobs in the jail all this month.
Thank God he is. And bless the day he hangs and lets me sleep in peace again. Oh, John, the world's so full of hypocrites. They pray in jail. I'm told they all pray in jail.
They may not pray.
And torture me in my bed while sacred words are coming from their mouths. Oh, it will need God himself to cleanse this town properly.
Abby, you mean to cry out still others.
If I live, if I am not murdered, I surely will. Until the last hypocrite is dead.
Then there's no one good.
Aye, there is one. You are good.
Am I? How am I good?
Why, you taught me goodness, therefore you are good. It were a fire you walked me through, and all my ignorance were burned away. It were a fire, John. We lay in fire, and from that night, no woman dare call me wicked anymore, but I knew my answer. God, I used to weep for my sins when the wind lifted up my skirts and blushed for shame because some old Rebecca called me loose, and then you burned my ignorance away. As bare as some December tree, I saw them all walking like saints to church and running to feed the sick and hypocrites in their hearts, and God gave me strength to call them liars. And God made men to listen to me. And by God, I will scrub the world clean for the love of him. Oh, John, I will make you such a wife when the world is white again. You will be amazed to see me every day, a light of heaven in your house. Why are you cold?
My wife goes to trial in the morning, Abigail.
Your wife?
Surely you knew of it.
I do remember it now. Is she well?
As well as she may be. 36 days in that place.
You said you came friendly.
She will not be condemned, Abby.
You brought me from my bed to speak of her?
I come to tell you what I will do tomorrow in the court. I would not take you by surprise, but give you all good time to think on what to do to save yourself.
Save myself?
If you do not free my wife tomorrow, I am set and bound to ruin you, Abby.
How? Ruin me?
I have rocky proof in documents that you knew that popper were none of my wife's, and that you yourself bade Mary Warren stab that needle into it.
I bade Mary Warren.
You know what you do. You are not so mad.
Oh, hypocrites, have you won him too? John, why do you let them send you?
I warn you, Abigail.
They send you. They steal your honesty.
I have found my honesty.
No. This is your wife pleading. Your sniveling, envious wife. This is Rebecca's voice, Martha Corey's voice. You were no hypocrite.
I will prove you for the fraud you are.
And if they ask why Abigail would do such a murderous deed, what will you tell them?
I will tell them why.
What will you tell? You will confess to fornication in the court?
If you will have it so I will tell it. I say I will. If you can still hear this. Can you hear? You will tell the court you are blind to spirits. You cannot see them anymore, and you will never cry witchery again, or I'll make you famous for the whore you are.
Never in this world. I know you, John. You are at this moment singing secret hallelujahs that your wife will hang.
You mad, you murderous bitch!
Oh, how hard it is when pretense falls. But it falls! It falls! You have done your duty by her. I hope it is your last hypocrisy. I pray you will come again with sweeter news for me. I know you will. Now that your duty is done. Good night, John. Fear not. I will save you tomorrow from yourself. I will save you.
Now, Martha Corey, there's abundant evidence to hands to show that you have given yourself to the readings of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch is.
How do you know then that you're not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them. I scorn it.
I have evidence for the court.
You will keep your seat.
Thomas Putnam is reaching out for land.
Remove that man, Marshal.
You're hearing lies, lies!
Arrest him, Excellency.
I have evidence. Why will you not hear my evidence? Hands off! Damn you, let me go!
Giles! Giles!
Hands off of me, Willard! I bring evidence!
You cannot go in there. It is a court.
You, Mr. Hale, go in there and demand that I speak.
A moment, sir, a moment.
They'll be hanging my wife!
How do you dare come roar in this court? Are you gone daft, Corey?
You're not a Boston judge yet, Haythorne. You'll not call me daft.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, sir. In a more contentious...
I am asked the question, I'm old enough to answer it. Name's Corey, sir. Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and lumber in addition. Is my wife you be condemning now?
And how do you imagine to help her cause with such contemptuous riot? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They're telling lies about my wife, sir.
Then you take it upon yourself to decide what this court shall believe and what it shall set aside.
Your Excellency, we mean no disrespect for...
Disrespect indeed. It is disruption, mister. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
I only said she was reading books, Your Honor, and they come and take her out of my house for...
What books? What?
Is my third wife, Your Honor. I never had no other wife that be so taken with books. Do you understand? I only thought to find the cause of it, do you see? But there were no witch that I blamed her for. I've broken charity with the woman. I've broken charity with her.
Excellency, he claims hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think that in all justice you must...
Then let him submit his evidence and proper affidavit. You are certainly aware of our procedure here, Mr. Hale. Clear this room.
Come now, Giles.
We are desperate, sir. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard.
Who is this man?
Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife's Rebecca that were condemned this morning.
Indeed. I am amazed to find you in such uproar. I have only good reports of your character, Mr. Nurse.
I think they must both be arrested in contempt, sir.
Let you write your plea, and in due time I will.
Excellency, we have proof for your eyes. God forbid you shut them to it. The girls, sir. The girls are frauds.
What?
We have proof of it, sir. They are all deceiving you.
This is contempt, sir. Contempt.
Peace, Judge Haythorne. Do you know who I am, Mr. Nurse?
I surely do, Excellency. And I think you to be a wise judge to be what you are.
And do you know that near to 400 are in the jails from Marblehead to Lynn, and upon my signature? And 72 condemned to hang by that signature.
Excellency, I never thought to say it to such a weighty judge, but you are deceived.
Mary Warren, what are you about here?
She would speak with the deputy governor.
Did you not tell me Mary Warren was sick in bed?
She were, Your Honor. When I go to fetch her to the court last week, she said she was sick.
She's been striving with her soul all week, Your Honor. She comes now to tell the truth to you.
Who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, Your Honor. This man is mischief.
I think you must hear the girl, sir. She...
Peace. What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirits, sir.
Never saw no spirits.
Never. She assigned a deposition, sir.
No. I accept no deposition. Tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given out this story in the village?
We have not.
They have come to overthrow this court, Your Honor.
I pray you, Mr. Paris, do you know, Mr. Proctor, that the entire contention of the state in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children?
I know that, sir.
And you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people for sending their spirits against you? I cannot hear you.
It were pretense, she says.
And the other girls, Susanna Walcott, and the others, they're also pretending.
Aye, sir.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Proctor, before I decide whether I shall hear you or not, it is my duty to tell you this. We burn a hot fire here. It melts down all concealment. Are you certain in your conscience, mister, that your evidence is the truth?
It is, and you'll surely know it.
I take it you came here to declare this revelation in the open court, before the public?
I thought I would, with your permission.
Now, sir, what is your purpose in so doing?
I would free my wife, sir.
There lurks nowhere in your heart, nor hidden in your spirit, any desire to undermine this court.
Why, no, sir.
Indeed. I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in this court. I have seen people choked before my eyes by spirits. I have seen them stuck by pens and slashed by daggers. I have, until this moment, not the slightest reason to believe that the children may be deceiving me. Do you understand my meaning?
Excellency, does it not strike upon you that so many of these women have lived so long with such upright reputation and...
Do you read the gospel, Mr. Proctor?
I read the gospel.
I think not. Or you should surely know that Cain were an upright man, and yet he did kill Abel.
Aye, God tells us that. But who tells us Rebecca Nurse murdered 7 babies by sending out her spirit on them? It is the children only, and this one will swear she lied to you.
Judge Haythorne. Is this the one?
Aye, she's the one.
Mr. Proctor, this morning your wife sent me a claim in which she states that she is pregnant now.
My wife pregnant?
There be no sign of it. We have examined her body.
But if she says she is pregnant, then she must be. That woman will never lie, Mr. Danforth.
She will not.
Never, sir, never.
Mr. Proctor, if I should tell you that I shall let her be kept another month, and that if she begin to show her natural signs, that you shall have her living yet another year until she is delivered, what say you to that? Come now, you say her only purpose is to save your wife. Good then, she is saved at least this year, and a year is long. What say you to that, sir? It is done now. Will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger.
Excellency, they have come to overthrow this court.
These are my friends. Their wives are also...
I judge you not, sir. Sit down. I am ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court. I only...
Marshal, go next door and bid Judge Stoughton and Judge Sewell declare recess for 1 hour. And let them go to the tavern if they will.
If you will forgive me, Your Honor, I have known this man all my life. It is a good man, sir.
I'm sure of it, Marshal. Now, what deposition do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? And I beg you be clear, open as the sky, and honest.
I am no lawyer, so I'll...
The pure in heart need no lawyers. Proceed as you will.
Will you read this first, sir? It's a sort of testament. The people signing it declared their good opinion of Rebecca Nurse and my wife and Martha Corey.
Their good opinion?
These are all covenant people. Landholding farmers, members of the church. If you'll notice, sir, they've known the women many years and never saw no sign they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here?
91, Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning.
Mr. Danforth, I give them all my word. No harm would come to them for signing this.
This is a clear attack upon the court.
Is every defense an attack upon the court? Can no one...
All innocent and Christian people are happy for the courts in Salem. These people are gloomy for it. And I think you will want to know that each and every one of them is what discontents them from you.
I think it ought to be examined, sir.
This is not necessarily an attack, I think, yet.
These are all covenanted Christians, sir.
Then I am sure they may have nothing to fear. Mr. Cheever. Have warrants drawn for all of these. Arrest for examination. Now, mister, what other information do you have for us? You may sit, Mr. Nurse.
I have brought trouble on these people.
No, old man. You have not hurt these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand, sir, that a person is either with this court or he must be counted against it. There be no road between. This is a sharp time now, a precise time. We live no longer in the dusky afternoon when evil mixed itself with good and befuddled the world. Now, by the grace of God, the shining sun is up, and them that fear not the light will surely praise it. I hope that you will be one of those. She's not hearty, I see.
No, she's not, sir. Now remember what the angel Raphael said to the boy Tobias. Remember it. Do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Come, man, we wait you.
John, my deposition. Give him mine.
Aye. This is Mr. Corey's deposition.
What lawyer drew this, Corey?
You know I never hired no lawyer in my life, Haythorne.
It is very well phrased. My compliments. Mr. Paris, if Mr. Putnam is next door, bring him in. You have no legal training, Mr. Corey.
I have the best. I'm 33 time in court and always plaintiff, too.
Oh, then you're much put upon.
I am never put upon. I know my rights, sir, and I will have them. You know, your father tried a case of mine, might be 35 years ago, I think.
Indeed.
He never spoke to you of it.
No, I cannot recall it.
That's strange. Gave me £9 damages. Your father were a fair judge. See, I had a white mare that time, and this fellow come to borrow that mare, and... there he is!
Mr. Putnam, I have here an accusation by Mr. Corey that you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs that is now in jail.
It is a lie.
Mr. Putnam states that your charge is a lie. What say you to that, sir?
A fart on Thomas Putnam, that is what I say to that.
What proof do you submit for your charge, sir?
My proof is there. If Jacobs hangs for a witch, he forfeit up his property. That's law. And there's none but Putnam with coin enough to buy so great a piece. He's killing his neighbors for land.
But proof, sir, proof.
The proof is there. I heard it from an honest man who heard Putnam say it. The day his daughter cried out on Jacobs, she'd given him a great piece of land.
In the name of this man.
What name?
The man that gave you this information.
Why, I cannot give you no name.
And why not?
You know well why not. He'll lie in jail if I do give you his name.
This is contempt of the court, Mr. Danforth.
You will surely tell us the name.
I cannot give you no name. I mentioned my wife's name once, and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. I stand mute.
Then I have no choice but to arrest you in contempt of this court. Do you know that?
This is a hearing. You cannot clap me for contempt of a hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer. Do you wish me to declare the court in full session here, or will you give me good reply?
I cannot give you no name, Your Honor. I cannot.
You are a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the record. The court is now in session. I ask you, Mr. Corey...
Your Honor, he has the story in confidence, sir, and he...
The devil lives in such confidences. Without confidences, there could be no conspiracy, Your Honor.
I think it must be broken, sir.
Old man, if your informant tells the truth, let him come here openly like a decent man. But if he hides in anonymity, then I must know why. Now, sir, the government and the Central Church demand of you the name of him who reported Mr. Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Excellency.
Mr. Hale.
We cannot blink it more. There's a prodigious fear of this court in the country.
Then there is a prodigious guilt in the country. Are you afraid to be questioned here?
I may only fear the Lord, sir, but there is fear in the country nevertheless.
Reproach me not with the fear in the country. There is a fear in the country because there is a moving plot to topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear this court, Mr. Hale. None. Mr. Corey, you are under arrest in contempt of this court. Sit you down and take counsel with yourself, or you will be set in jail until you decide to answer all questions.
No, Giles!
I'll cut your throat, Putnam! I'll kill you yet!
Peace, Giles, peace! We'll prove ourselves, now we will!
Say nothing more, John. He's only playing you. He means to hang us all!
This is a court of law, mister. I'll have no effrontery here.
Forgive him, sir, for his old age. Peace, Giles. We'll prove it all now. You cannot weep, Mary. Remember the angel, what he say to the boy. Hold to it now. There is your rock. This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would ask you, remember, sir, that until 2 weeks ago, she were no different than the other children are today. You saw her scream. She howled. She swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of women now in jail, tried to win her soul away. And then when she refused...
We know all this.
Aye, sir. She swears now that she never saw Satan, nor any spirit vague or clear that Satan may have sent to hurt her. And she declares her friends are lying now.
Excellency, a moment. I think this goes to the heart of the matter, sir.
It surely does.
I cannot say he's an honest man. I know him little. But in all justice, sir, a claim so weighty cannot be argued by a farmer. I pray you stop here. Send him home and let him come again with a lawyer.
Now look you, Mr. Hale.
Excellency, I have signed 72 death warrants. I'm a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without a proof so immaculate no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you surely do not doubt my justice.
Excellency, I have this morning signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse. I'll not conceal it. My hand shakes as yet with the wound. I beg you, sir, this argument let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, believe me, for a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me, sir. I have been 32 years at the bar, and I should be confounded were I called upon to defend any of these people. Let you consider now, and I bid you all do likewise. In ordinary crime, how does one defend the accused? One calls upon witnesses to prove his innocence. But witchcraft is ipso facto, on its face and by its nature, an invisible crime. Therefore, who may possibly be witness to it? The witch and the victim, none other. Now we cannot hope the witch will accuse herself, granted. Therefore, we must rely upon her victims. And they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for the witches, none will deny that we are most eager for their confessions. Therefore, what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I have made my point, have I not?
But this child claims that the girls are not truthful, and if they are not...
That is precisely what I am about to consider, sir. What more may you ask of me, unless you doubt my probity?
I surely do not, sir. Let you consider it, then.
And let you put your heart to rest. Her deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I should like to question Mary.
Mr. Paris, I bid you be silent. Sit you down. Mr. Proctor, you sit there. Mr. Cheever, go next door and bring the children here. Mary Warren, how came you to this turnabout? Has Mr. Proctor threatened you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Has he threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me that you sat in the court callously lying when you knew that people would hang by your evidence.
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life? Do you not know that God damns all liars? Or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I am with God now.
You are with God now.
Aye, sir.
I will tell you this. You are either lying now or you are lying in the court. In either case, you have committed perjury, and you will go to jail for it. You cannot lightly say that you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Ruth Putnam's not next door, sir, nor the other children.
These will be sufficient. Sit you down, children. Your friend Mary Warren has given us a deposition in which she swears that she never saw familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifest of the devil. She claims as well that none of you have seen these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law. The law based upon the Bible, and the Bible writ by Almighty God forbid the practice of witchcraft and describe death as the penalty thereof. But likewise, children, the law and the Bible damn all liars and bearers of false witness. Now, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us. It may well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan, who sends her here to distract from our sacred purpose. If so, her neck will break for it. But if she speak truth, I bid you now, drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easier with you. Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth in this?
No, sir.
Children, a very augur bit will now be turned to your souls so your honesty is proved. Will either of you change your position, or do you force me to hard questioning?
I have not to change, sir. She lies.
You would still go on with this?
Aye, sir.
A poppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat next to her in the court when she made it, and that you saw her make it, and saw how she herself stuck her needle into it for safekeeping. What say you to that?
It is a lie, sir.
While you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you ever see any poppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept poppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no poppets. Mary Warren confesses it was her poppet.
Your Excellency,
Mr. Cheever.
when I spoke with Goody Proctor in that house, she said she never kept no poppets. But she said she did keep poppets when she were a girl.
She has not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
But a poppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
It will keep if it is kept. But Mary Warren swears she never saw no poppets in my house, nor anyone else.
Why could there have been a poppet hid where no one has ever saw one?
There might also be 2 golden candlesticks in my house, but no one ever saw them.
We are here, Your Honor, precisely to discover what no one has ever saw.
Mr. Danforth, what profit Mary Warren to turn herself about? What may she gain but hard questioning and worse?
You are charging Abigail Williams with the marvelous coup plot to murder. Do you understand that?
I do, sir. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife.
It is not a child, sir. Now hear me, sir. In the sight of the congregation, she were twice this year put out of the mean house for laughter during prayer.
What's this? Laughter during.
Excellency.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do believe it happened once. She is sometimes silly, but she is solemn now.
Aye, she is solemn now and goes to hang people.
Quiet, man.
Surely this have no bearing on the question, sir. He charges contemplation of murder.
Aye. But it strikes hard upon me that she will laugh at prayer. Continue, Mr. Proctor.
Mary, now tell the governor how you danced in the woods.
Excellency, ever since I came to Salem, this man is blackening my name. He is...
In a moment, sir. What is this dancing?
Mr. Proctor.
Abigail leads the girls to the woods where they have danced there naked.
Your Honor, this...
Mr. Paris discovered them there in the dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris.
I can only say, sir, that I never saw any of them naked. And this man...
You discovered them dancing in the woods. Abigail.
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do not. But I never saw any of them naked.
Would she have danced?
Aye, sir.
Excellency, will you permit me?
Pray, proceed.
You say you never saw no spirits, Mary. Were never threatened or afflicted by any manifest of the devil or the devil's agents.
No, sir.
And yet, when people accused of which you confronted you in court, you would faint, saying that their spirits came out of their bodies and choked you.
That were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you.
Pretense, sir.
But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself picked you up many times and your skin were icy. Mr. Danforth, you.
I saw that many times.
She only pretended to faint, Your Excellency. They're all marvelous pretenders.
Think that you pretend to faint now?
Now? Why not? There are no spirits attacking her, for no one in this room is accused of witchcraft. So let herself turn cold. Let her pretend that she is attacked. Let her faint. Faint!
Faint?
Aye, faint. And prove to us how you can faint on your own will as you claim.
I cannot faint now, sir.
Can you not pretend it?
I have no sense of it now.
Why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell, sir.
Might it be that in this room we have no afflicting spirit loose, but in the court there were some?
I never saw no spirits.
Then see no spirits now. And prove to us how you can faint in the court on your own will as you claim.
I cannot do it.
Then you will confess yourself, will you not? Attacking spirits made you faint.
No, sir.
Excellency, this is a trick to blind the court.
It's not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them.
But I did not, Your Honor.
How can you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell how, but I did. I heard the other girls screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them. And it was only sport in the beginning, sir. But then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits! And I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
Surely, Your Excellency is not taken by some simple lie.
Abigail Williams, I bid you now search your heart and tell me this. And beware of it, child. To God every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible upon them that take life without cause. Is it possible, child, that the spirits you have seen are illusions only? Some deception that may cross your mind when...
Why, this is a base question, sir.
Child, I would have you consider
I
it.
have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people in this. This is my reward? To be mistrusted, denied, questioned like a...
Child, I do not mistrust
But
you.
you beware, Mr. Danforth. Think you so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits? Beware of it! There is...
What is it, child?
I know not. A wind. A cold wind has come.
Abby!
Your Honor, I freeze!
They're pretending.
She's cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary, do you send this shadow on me?
Lord, save me!
I freeze! I freeze!
Abby, don't do that!
Mary warned you, witcher. I say to you, send your spirit out.
Let me go, Mr. Proctor! I cannot! I cannot!
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away this shadow!
Whore! How do you dare call heaven?
Man, what do
It
you...
is a whore!
Now here!
You charge.
Mr. Danforth, he's lying!
Marker! Now she'll suck a scream to stab me with, but...
You will prove this. This will not pass.
I have known her, sir! I have known her.
You are a lecher.
John, you cannot.
No, Francis. It is true. It is true. She will deny it. But you will believe me, sir. A man will not cast away his good name. Surely you know that.
In what time? In what time? In what place?
In the proper place. Where my beasts are bedded. 8 months now, sir. It is 8 months. She used to serve me in my house, sir. A man may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know it now. I beg you, sir. I beg you. See her what she is. My wife, my dear good wife, took this girl soon after and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, a lump of vanity, sir. Excellency, forgive me. Forgive me. She thinks to dance on my wife's grave. And well, she might. For I thought of her softly. God, help me. I lusted. And there is a promise in such sweat. But it is a whore's vengeance. And you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now. My wife is innocent, except she know a whore when she see one.
You deny every scrap and tittle of this.
If I must answer that, sir, I will leave, and I will not come back again.
She does not deny it, sir. She does not deny it.
You will remain where you are. Sit you down. Mr. Paris, go next door and bring Goodwife Proctor out. Mr. Paris, tell her not one word of what's been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter. Now, we shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman?
In her life, sir, she have never lied. There are them that cannot sing, and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie.
When she put this girl out of your house, she put her out for a harlot.
Aye, sir.
She knew her for a harlot.
She knew her for a harlot.
Good then. And if she tell me, child, that it were for harlotry, may God spread his mercy on you. Hold. Turn your back. Turn your back. You do likewise. Now let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in this room is to speak one word or raise one gesture, aye or nay. Enter. Mr. Cheever, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Come here, woman. Look at me only, not at your husband, in my eyes only.
Good, sir.
We are given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her? You will look in my eyes only and not at your husband. The answer is in your memory, and you need no help to give it to me. Why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me, sir, and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She were...
Woman, look at me! Was she slovenly, lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time, I were sick, and my husband is a goodly man, sir. He is never drunk, as some are, nor wasting his time at the shovel board, but always at his work. But in my sickness, you see, sir, I were a long time sick after my last baby, and I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me. And this girl...
Look at me!
Sir, Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her. And so one night I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the high road.
Your husband. Did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you?
He...
Woman, look at me! To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her.
Elizabeth, tell the truth, Elizabeth!
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I've confessed it!
John!
She only thought to save my name.
Excellency, it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you stop now before another is condemned. I can turn my face from it no more. Private vengeance is working through this testimony. From the very beginning, this man has struck me true. I believe him now. By my oath to heaven, I believe him, and I pray you call back his wife before we...
She spoke nothing of lechery, and this man lies.
I believe him! I can shut my conscience to it no more. This girl has always struck me false. She has...
You will not! Be gone, I say!
What is it, child? What's there? Child. Girls, why do you...
It's on the beam! Behind the rafter!
Where?
Why do you come, yellow bird?
Where's a bird? I see no bird.
My face? My face?
Mr. Hale!
Be quiet!
Do you see a bird?
Be quiet!
God made my face. You cannot want to tear my face. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary.
Abby!
Oh, Mary, this is a black art to change your shape. No. I cannot stop my mouth. It's God's work I do.
Abby, I'm here!
They're pretending, Mr. Danforth.
Oh, Mary, please don't come down.
Her claws! She's stretching her claws!
Lies! Lies!
Mary, please don't hurt me.
I'm not hurting her!
Why does she see this vision?
She sees nothing. She sees nothing. Abby, you mustn't. Abby, you mustn't. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Fair Warren, draw back your spirit out of them.
Mr. Danforth, sir, Mr. Danforth.
Have you compacted with the devil? Have you?
Never, 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 never.
Well, I can only repeat you.
Give me a whip. I'll stop it.
They're sporting! They're sporting! Abby, stop it! Abby, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
A little while ago, you were afflicted. Now it seems you afflict others. Where did you find this power?
I have no power!
They're gulling you, mister.
Why did you turn about this past 2 weeks? You have seen the devil, have you not?
Mary, goddamn's all liars.
You have seen the devil. You have made compact with Lucifer, have you not?
Goddamn's liars, Mary.
What do you say? I cannot hear you. You will confess yourself or you will hang. Do you know who I am? I say you will hang if you do not open with me.
Mary, remember the angel Raphael. Do that which is good and...
Her wings are spreading. Oh, Mary, please, don't! She's going to come down. She's walking the beam. Look out, she's coming down!
Mary, tell the governor what they...
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Mary!
You are the devil's man!
Praise God!
Mary, how?
I'll not hang with you! I love God! I love God!
He bids you do the devil's work.
He come at me by night and every day to sign.
Sign what?
The devil's book? He come with the book?
My name. He want my name. I'll murder you, he says, if my wife hangs. We must go and overthrow the court, he says.
Mr. Hale!
He wake me every night. His eyes were like coals and his fingers claw my neck. And I sighed.
Excellency, the child's gone wild.
Mary!
No! I love God. I go your way. No more. I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you more.
What are you? You are combined with Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power. Mister, you will not deny it.
This is not witchcraft. These girls are frauds. You condemn an honest man.
I will have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. You confess yourself befouled with hell, or do you keep that black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say, God is dead.
Hear it? Hear it?
A fire is burning. I hear the boot of Lucifer. I see his filthy face. And is my face and yours stand forth. For them the quails bring men out of ignorance as I have quailed, and as you quail now, when you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud. God damns our kind especially, and we will burn together.
Marshal, take him and Corey with him to the jail.
I denounce these proceedings. I quit this court.
You are pulling heaven down and raising up a whore!
Mr. Hale! Mr. Hale!
Sarah, wake up. Sarah, good. Tituba.
Oh, Majesty! Come in! Tituba, he's here. His Majesty's come.
Go to the north cell. This place is wanted now.
That don't look to me like His Majesty. Look to me like the Marshal.
Get along with you now. Clear this place.
Is it you, Marshal? I thought sure you'd be the devil coming for us. Could I have a sip of cider for me going away?
And where are you off to, Sarah?
We go into Barbados. Soon the devil gets here with the feathers and the wings.
Oh, a happy voyage to you.
A pair of bluebirds swinging southerly, the two of us. Oh, it be a grand transformation, Marshal.
You'd best give me that or you'll never rise off the ground again.
I'll speak to him for you if you desire to come along, Marshal.
I'd not refuse it, Tituba. It is the proper morning to fly into hell.
Oh, it ain't no hell in Barbados. Devil him be pleasure man in Barbados. Him be singing and dancing in Barbados. You folks, you riles him up round here. It be too cold round here for that old boy. He frees his soul in Massachusetts, but in Barbados he's just as sweet and... Yes, sir. That's him, Sarah.
I'm here, Majesty.
The deputy governor's arrived. Come along, come along.
No, he coming for me. I going home.
That ain't Satan. Just a poor old cow with a hat full of milk. Come along now. Out with you.
Take me home, devil. Take me home. Take me home, devil. Take me home.
Now you tell him Sarah Good is going too.
Good morning, Majesty.
Where is Mr. Paris?
I'll fetch him.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
It were toward midnight, I think.
What is he about here?
He goes among them that'll hang, sir, and he prays with them. He sits with Goody Nurse now, and Mr. Paris with him.
Indeed. That man have no authority to enter this place. Marshal, why have you let him in?
Why, Mr. Paris command me, sir. I cannot deny him.
Are you drunk, Marshal?
No, sir. It is a bitter night, and I have no fire here.
Fetch Mr. Paris.
Aye, sir.
There is a prodigious stench in this place.
I have only now cleared the people out for you.
Beware our drink, Marshal.
Aye, sir.
Let you question Hale, Excellency. I should not be surprised if you have been preaching Andover lately.
We'll come to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Paris prays with him. That's strange.
I think sometimes Paris has a mad look these days.
Mad?
I met him yesterday coming out of his house, and I bid him a good morning. And he wept and went on his way. I think it is not well the village sees him so unsteady.
Maybe he have some sorrow.
I think it be the cows, sir.
The cows?
There be so many cows wandering the high roads, and now their masters are in jail in much disagreement who they will belong to now. I know Mr. Paris be arguing with farmers all yesterday. There's great contention, sir, about the cows. Contention make him weep, sir. It were always a man that weep for contention.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for coming. I beg your pardon waking you so early. Good morning, Judge Haythorne.
Reverend Hale have no right to enter this place.
Excellency, a moment.
Do you leave him alone with the prisoners?
What's his business here?
Hear me. It is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
He bids her confess.
Hear me. She has not given me a word this 3 months. Now she sits with him and her sister and Martha Corey and 2 or 3 others, and he bids them to confess their crimes and save their lives.
Why, it is indeed a providence. And they soften. They soften.
Not yet, not yet. But I thought to summon you, sir, that we may think it is wise to. There is news, sir. There is news that the court must reckon with. My niece, I believe she vanished.
Vanished?
I thought to advise you of it earlier in the week, but...
Why? How long is she gone?
This be the 3rd night. Mercy Lewis is gone too.
I will send a party for them. Where may they be?
Excellency, I think they may be aboard a ship. My daughter heard them speaking of ships last week, and tonight I discovered my strong box is broken into.
She have robbed you?
31 pound is gone. I am penniless.
Mr. Paris, you are a brainless man!
Excellency, it profit nothing that you should blame me. I cannot think that they would run off except fearing of keeping in Salem, since the news of Andover has broken here.
Andover is remedied. The court returns there on Friday and will resume examinations.
I am sure of it, sir. But the rumor here speaks rebellion in Andover, and it's...
There is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover has thrown out their court, and they'll have no part of witchcraft. And I fear there's a faction here feeding on that news. And I fear that there'll be a riot.
Riot? Why, at every execution, I've seen naught but high satisfaction in the town.
Judge Haythorne, it is another sort that has hung in until now. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget who stayed with Bishop this 3 years before she married him. John Proctor is no Isaac Ward who drank his family to ruin. Let Rebecca stand upon the gibbet and send up some righteous prayer, and I fear she'll wake a vengeance on you.
Excellency, she's a condemned witch.
Pray.
The court have...
You. How do you propose, then?
I would postpone these hangings for some time.
There will be no postponement.
Now, with Mr. Hale's return, there's hope, I think. For even if he brings one of them to God, their confession surely damns the others in the public eye, and no doubt linking them all in hell. This way, claiming innocence and unconfessed, doubts are multiplied. Many honest people will weep for them, and our good purpose is lost in their tears.
Cheever, give me the list.
It cannot be forgot, sir. When I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there was hardly 30 people there, and I fear that speaks of discontent, and
There will be no postponement.
Excellency.
Now, sir, which of these do you have hope for? I will myself strive with him till dawn.
There's not sufficient time until dawn.
I shall do my utmost. Which of these do you have hope for?
Excellency. A dagger.
What do you say?
Tonight, when I opened my door, a dagger clattered to the ground. You cannot hang the sword. There's danger for me. I dare not step outside at night.
Reverend Hale, we are gladdened to see you return to your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge.
You misunderstand, sir. I could not pardon these when 12 were already hanged for the same crime. It is not just.
Rebecca will not confess.
Excellency, the sun will rise in a few moments. I must have more time.
Hear me now and beguile yourselves no more. I will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed. The names of these 7 are given out, and the village expects to see them die at dawn. Postponement now speaks a floundering on my part. While I speak God's law, I will not crack its voice with whimpering. Reprieve or pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of them that died till now. If retaliation is your fear, know this. I should hang 10,000 that dared to rise against the law, and an ocean of salt tears could not melt the resolution of these statutes. Now draw yourselves up like men, and help me as you are bound by heaven to do. Have you spoken with them all, Mr. Hale?
All but Proctor. He's in the dungeon.
What's Proctor's way now?
He sits like some great bird, sir. You not know he lived, except he'll take food from time to time.
His wife. His wife must be well on with child by now.
She is, sir.
But thank you, Mr. Paris. You have closer knowledge of this man. Might her presence soften him?
It is possible, sir. He has not laid eyes on her this 3 months. I should summon her.
Is he yet adamant? Has he struck at you again?
He cannot, sir. He's changed the wall now.
Fetch good wife Proctor to me, then let you bring him up.
Aye, sir.
Excellency, if you postpone a week and strive to the town and publish to the town that you are striving for their confession, that speak mercy on your part, not faltering.
Mr. Hale, if God has not empowered me like Joshua to keep this sun from rising, so I cannot withhold from them the perfection of their punishment.
If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, Mr. Danforth, you are mistaken.
You have heard rebellion spoken in Salem.
Excellency, there are orphans wandering from house to house. Abandoned cattle bellow on the high road. The stink of rotting crops hangs everywhere. No man knows when the harlot's cry may yet end his life. And you wonder yet if rebellion spoke? Better you should marvel how they do not burn your province.
Mr. Hale, have you preached in Andover this month?
Thank God. They have no need of me in Andover.
You baffle me, sir. Why have you returned here?
Why? It is all simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians. They should belie themselves. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Hush! Goody Proctor, I hope you are hearty.
I'm yet 6 months before my time.
Pray, be at your ease. We come not for your life, we. Mr. Hale, will you speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? I come of my own, Goody Proctor. I would save your husband's life, for if he is taken, I count myself as murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want of me?
Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 months like our Lord into the wilderness. I have sought a Christian way, for damnation's doubled on a minister that counsels men to lie.
It is no lie. You cannot speak
It
a
is a lie! They are innocent.
No more, no more. I'll have no more of that.
Let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came into your village like a bridegroom, bearing gifts of high religion. The very crowns of holy law I brought. And what I touched with my bright confidence, it died. And where I cast the eye of my great faith, blood flowed up. Beware, Goody Proctor. Cleave to no faith where faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that counsels men to sacrifice. Life, woman, life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. I beg you, woman, prevail upon your husband to confess. Let him give his lie. Quail not in God's judgment before this, for it may well be that God damns a liar less than he that throws away his life for pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Woman, before the laws of God, we are as swine. We cannot read his will.
I cannot dispute with you, sir. I lack learning for it.
Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness within you, he will die with the sunrise. Your husband, do you understand it? Let's say, will you contend with him? Are you stone, woman? I tell you true. Had I no other proof of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now would be sufficient evidence that you delivered up your soul to hell. A very ape would weep at such calamity. Have the devil dried up any tear of pity in you? Take her out. Profit nothing that she should speak with him.
Let me speak with him, Excellency.
You will strive with him?
Will you plead for his confession, or will you not?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Pray, leave them, Excellency.
Mr. Proctor, you have been notified, have you not? I see light in the sky, mister. Let you take counsel with your wife, and may God help you turn your back on hell.
If you desire a cup of cider, Mr. Proctor, I'm sure God lead you now.
You have been chained.
Aye. The child?
It grows.
There is no word of the boys?
They're well. Rebecca's Daniel keeps them.
You have not seen them?
I have not.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth. They come for my life now.
I know it.
None have yet confessed?
There be many confessed.
Who are they?
There be 100 or more, they say. Goody Ballard is one. I say a Goodkind is one. There be many.
Rebecca?
Not Rebecca. She is 1 foot in heaven now. Naught made her more.
And Giles?
You have not heard of it.
I hear nothing where I'm kept.
Giles is dead.
When were he hanged?
He were not hanged. He would not answer aye or nay to his indictment, for if he denied the charge, they'd hang him surely and auction off his property. So he stand mute and died Christian under the law. And so his sons will have his farm. It is the law, for he could not be condemned a wizard without he answered the indictment aye or nay.
Then how did he die?
They press him, John.
Press?
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he plead aye or nay. They say he give them but 2 words. More weight, he said, and died.
More weight.
Aye, it were a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I have been thinking I would confess to them. What say you if I give them that?
I cannot judge you, John.
What would you have me do?
As you will, I would have it. I want you living, John, that's sure.
Giles' wife. Have she confessed?
She will not.
It is a pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
I cannot mount the gibbet like a saint. It is fraud. I am not that man. My honesty is broke, Elizabeth. I am no good man. Nothing spoiled by giving them this lie that were not rotten long before.
And yet you've not confessed till now. That speak goodness in you.
Spite. Spite only keeps me silent. It is hard to give a lie to dogs. I would have your forgiveness, Elizabeth.
It is not for me to give, John.
I would have you see some honesty in it. Let them that never lied die now to keep their souls. For me, it is pretense, a vanity that will not blind God nor keep my children out of the wind. What say you?
John, it come not to me that I should forgive you. Will you forgive yourself? It is your soul, John. Only be sure of this, for I know it now. Whatever you will do, it is a good man does it. I have read my heart these 3 months. I have sins of my own to count.
Enough, enough.
Better you should know me.
I'll not hear it. I know you.
You take my sins upon you, John.
No, I take my own.
I counted myself so plain, so poorly made. No honest love could come to me. Suspicion kissed you when I did. I never knew how I should say my love. Oh, it were a cold house I kept.
What say you, Proctor? Sun soon up?
Do what you will, but let none be your judge. There be no higher judge under heaven than Proctor is. Forgive me. Forgive me, John. I never knew such goodness in the world.
I want my life.
You'll confess yourself.
I will have my life.
God be praised. It is a providence. He will confess. Proctor will confess.
Why do you cry it? It is evil, is it not? It is evil.
I cannot judge you, John. I cannot.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven, what is John Proctor? What is John Proctor? I think it is honest. I think so. I am no saint. Let Rebecca go like a saint. For me, it is fraud.
I am not your judge. I cannot be.
Would you ever give them such a lie? Say it. Would you ever give them this? You would not. If tongues of fire were singeing you, you would not. It is evil. Good then, it is evil, and I do it.
Praise to God, man. Praise to God. You shall be blessed in heaven for this. Now then, let us have it. Are you ready, Mr. Cheever?
Why must it be written?
Why, for the good instruction of the village. This we shall post upon the church door. Where is the marshal?
Willard, hurry!
Now then, will you speak slowly and directly to the point for Mr. Cheever's sake? Mr. Proctor, have you ever seen the devil in your life? Come, man, there is light in the sky. The town waits at the scaffold. I would give out this news. Did you see the devil?
I did.
Praise God.
And when he came to you, what were his demand? Did he bid you do his work upon the earth?
He did.
And you bound yourself to his service. Ah, Rebecca Nurse. Come in, woman.
Oh, John. More welcome, eh?
Courage, man, courage. Let her witness your good example that she may come to God herself. Now hear it, goody nurse. Say on, Mr. Proctor, did you bind yourself to the devil's service?
Why, John?
I did.
Now, woman, surely you see it profit nothing to keep this conspiracy any further. Will you confess yourself with him?
Oh, John. God send his mercy on you.
Take her out.
I say, will you confess yourself, goody nurse?
Why, it is a lie. It is a lie. How may I damn myself? I cannot. I cannot.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil came to you, did you ever see Rebecca Nurse in his company?
No.
Did you ever see her sister, Mary Easty, with the devil?
No, I did not.
Did you ever see Martha Corey with the devil?
I did not.
Did you ever see anyone with the devil?
I did not.
Proctor, you mistake me. I am not empowered to trade your life for a lie. You have most certainly seen some person with the devil in your life. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified that they saw this woman with the devil.
Then it is proved. Why must I say it?
Why must you say it? Why, you should rejoice to say it if your soul is purged of any love for hell.
They think to go like saints. I like not to spoil their names.
Mr. Proctor, do you think they go like saints? Look, you, sir, I think you mistake your duty here. It matters nothing what she thought. She is convicted of the unnatural murder of children, and you for sending your spirit out upon Mary Warren. Your soul alone is the issue here, mister, and you will prove its whiteness, or you cannot live in a Christian country. Will you tell me now what persons conspired with you in the devil's company? To your knowledge, was Rebecca Nurse ever...
I speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it.
Excellency, it is enough. Let him sign it, let him sign it.
It is a great service, sir. It is a weighty name. It will strike the village that he confess. I beg you, let him sign it. The sun is soon up, Excellency.
Sign your testimony, then. Mr. Cheever, bring it to him. Come, man, sign it.
You have all witnessed it. It is enough.
You will not sign it.
You have all witnessed it. What more is needed?
You will sign your name, or it is no confession, mister. Your second name, man.
Praise be to the Lord.
If you please, sir.
No.
Mr. Proctor, I must have...
No. No. I've signed it. You have seen me. It is done. You have no need for this.
Proctor, the village must have proof.
Damn the village! I confess to God, and God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
No, sir, it is...
You came to save my soul, did you not? Here. I've confessed myself. It is enough.
You have not
I've confessed myself! Is there no good penitence but is to be public. God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor.
You will not use me! I am no Sarah Good or Tituba. I am John Proctor! You will not use me. It is no part of salvation that you should use me.
Mr. Proctor, I do not wish
I have
to...
3 children. How may I teach them to walk like men in the world? I sold my friends.
You have not sold your...
Beguile me not! I blackened all of them when this is nailed to the church the very day they hang for silence.
Mr. Proctor, I must have good legal proof that
You are the High Court! Your word is good enough. Tell them I confess myself. Say Proctor broke his knees and wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name cannot.
It is the same, is it not? If I report it or if you sign to it.
No, it's not the same. What others say and what I sign to is not the same.
Why? Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me, Mr. Proctor, why you will not
Because it's my name! Because I cannot have another in my life! Because I lie and sign myself to lies! Because I am not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave me my name.
Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. I will not deal in lies, mister. You will give me your honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope. What way do you go?
Proctor! Proctor! Man, you cannot, you will hang!
Give them no tear. Show them a heart of stone and sink them with it.
Let you fear nothing. There is another judgment waits us all.
Hang them high over the town. Whoever weeps for these, weeps for corruption. Take them.
I have not had my breakfast.
Go to him, Goody Proctor. There is yet time. Proctor!
Woman, plead with him. It is pride, it is vanity. Be his helper. What profit him to bleed? Shall the worms praise him? Shall the dust proclaim his truth? Go to him. Take his shame away.
He have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.